Yeah, that's the probably the biggest miss on the characters
Yeah.
and the character meet and greets and the character interactions. Hades is a hoot. He'd be a
Yes.
fun one to play. I would love to play Hades. I am way too
Yeah.
short though. I'd be
You are.
I'm more a pain and panic sized kind of guy.
We want to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Touring and Cruises. Here's something you might not know. Booking with a travel advisor doesn't cost you anything. Disney pays them after you travel. You'll pay the same price you see online, but Touring and Cruises adds an enhanced level of service. Their expert advisors watch for discounts and apply them automatically, even after you book. And it's not just Disney. They can help with cruises, Universal, and all kinds of vacations. Whether you want help planning it all or just someone in your corner if plans change, they're here to help. And yes, they'll wait on hold with Disney 4 hours, so you don't have to. So when you're ready to plan your next trip, head to touringandcruises.com and tell them Rope Drop Radio sent you. Now, let's rope drop.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to Rope Drop Radio. I am Doug McKnight here with Lauren Shields. And Lauren, welcome home from the tropical sunny paradise that you were in.
Yes, we just got back from spring break and it was fabulous.
Yes, and you got home and it was 95 degrees in the Midwest.
So that was kind of crazy. Towards the end of my spring break trip, it got like cold and rainy. And then we came home and thinking it would be terrible out. And it was like 75 and sunny. And that was a great way to ease back into the Midwest. So thank you, Midwest, for giving me those couple days when I got home.
Right. So weird. Saturday, I went to a soccer tournament for Alden out in York, Nebraska, and it was 94 degrees.
Whoa. We didn't get that hot. I think we got to 85.
Oh, yeah. We had 90s for most of the day
Dang.
Saturday. So I don't know if it was a record high, but if it wasn't, I don't know. Somebody's thermometer was broken in the past, right? It was crazy. And then on Monday, it was like 35. So
correct.
And we had another soccer game, but that soccer game, I was in the booth doing the play-by-play on Blue Devil TV. So if you're ever really bored and want to go listen to me call a soccer game, and 80 minutes of high school soccer is not the easiest thing to call.
That's fast-paced kind of, right?
No.
Oh,
for us to call, no. And like I only know like 4 of the kids well, so that makes it harder too, because our soccer is part of a co-op, so I don't know like the kids from the other schools well. So I'm learning our names and numbers, and then there's the visiting team. Visiting team's roster was not in numerical order, which should be a crime. So I just didn't say their names. I just was like, well, and they're not going to have names tonight. So
just numbers. Like just 14 numbers. Did this.
Gotcha. So anyway, back on track. We're going to talk about cruising a little bit, and if it's a preview to Villain's Land, right?
Yeah, this is like what I was most excited to talk to you about, because this ship was villains heavy, and I kept just, foreshadowing it into the future at Magic Kingdom. It was crazy.
So, how are they testing Villain's Land at sea? That's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about your travel days for the patrons, right?
Yes, we're going to say that for an after show, because as usual, did not go according to plan, which always makes for a fun after show. But thank you to all of our Patreons. We did get a new one while I was gone. So thank you to Lindsay Good for joining our Patreon community. You could join us. Come check us out at patreon.com. Doug does a weekly news right?
The news
episode
every week.
The news. I'm still on my brain's still on vacay mode. So you do that. We do an after show each week to talk about more unfiltered things like we will with by travels, and you can get a chance to win a $25 Disney gift card quarterly.
Yes, there you go. Go check out Patreon. But lots of great ways to support the show. Just make sure you're subscribed to the show on whatever app you're listening to. Make sure you follow, like, share the show, or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we will read it on air and love you forever. Today's 5-star review is titled Mando Super Bowl Commercial, 5 stars. So after the Super Bowl, I did talk about the commercials for hair.
You did.
Is that on the regular show or the after show? I can't remember.
Regular
show. I vented a little about the community. So, Mando Super Bowl commercial, 5 stars by erock720. There's the review. Nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans do. Period. That's it. That's the review.
That's
It's
what he said.
fantastic. Yeah. I love
Is
it.
he quoting you there? Because it sounds pretty familiar. I might have heard you say something like that.
I don't think I said that day, but I heavily implied it. There was a fantastic commercial because it was a parody on a Budweiser Super Bowl commercial of the past, right? So people that were just tuning in for the commercials that were Star Wars fans, or like they're just watching it in a vacuum on YouTube later, they're like, what is this? Because it's, you had to know about the thing to make it make sense.
You had to be old and know Budweiser.
Like the plot was going to be a stagecoach. Like, we've now have a full trailer for the Mando, and why Disney didn't just throw a QR code up at the end of that commercial saying, go check out the full trailer, where there is no stagecoach in the full trailer. So
darn it.
I love the review. Thank you so much. All right, on to the next thing. Go check out YouTube. We're on YouTube. Go check out YouTube so you can see the Stuffy of the Week. Leave a comment about what the Stuffy is so that Lauren's children do not have to cry themselves to sleep at night.
This is true. And this is a new one that has a lot to do with what we're going to talk about today. So there's your little clue.
Straight from the ship?
It is straight from the Disney Destiny. Picked out by Annie.
All right, Annie. Excellent taste. All right, so we will get to the Villains Land tidbits on C after this break. Hey, Nebraska rope droppers. Getting to the magic just got easier. The Lincoln Airport now offers nonstop flights to Orlando twice a week on Breeze Airways. Every Wednesday and Saturday. Skip the layovers and get straight to Mickey faster than ever. I've flown Breeze myself. It's a great experience with one of the youngest fleets in the sky, flying only Airbus A220s. So next time you're planning a Disney vacation, start at Lincoln Airport, your shortcut to the magic. And we are back. Welcome back to the show. We appreciate you all being here. It's time to procrastinate. There's a P word I'm trying to say, Lauren, and I'm failing. Prognosticate. There we go.
There you go. I had to
all
think of it
about
too.
Villains Land based off what we're seeing at sea on the Disney Destiny, because there's lots of villains going on, lots of heroes, but also a lot of villains. So Villains Land recently was told, like, hey, let's shoot for the stars, not the moon, sort of thing. So it's they filed new plans for the water, permits on where water was going to be. The buildings all got like 10 to 12% bigger, right?
Yeah.
That's a big
I'm excited.
So everything got a little bigger. New CEO said, hey, let's not value engineer this before we engineer it, because I think that's where they were at with the previous administration. So let's go back. You were on the Disney Destiny, the newest ship in the fleet. We've talked about it many times over on Rope Drop on Deck, the cruising show, but does it feel more like a Disney park when you're on this ship as opposed to, say, the Wish or the Dream or the Fantasy?
So for me, I think the Disney Treasure feels the most like the park in its current state, which I know you haven't been on that one yet.
I have not. It's my one.
I know. But so that was the first time we ever experienced the Haunted Mansion bar. And then you had the Skipper's Society or whatever it is, the bar in the middle of the ship. So that for me was the first time I'm like, this feels very theme park-ish to me. They did a good job like changing up, like I felt like the Wish was very princessy. And then you got in the Treasure and it was a better mix, right?
Yeah, it was. Wish is very princess heavy. Even, I mean, you have Tiana's Bayou is the bar that you're talking about where Skipper's is at, right? Other than the swing and a miss with the Star Wars bar.
Right. But like most of the lounges, like Nightingale's, that's Cinderella, like, and then at Cinderella is in the atrium. So before we got on the Disney Destiny, all I was hearing was Marvel. So like, I was like, oh, I'm okay with Marvel. Like I've seen all the movies once, whatever. Like I don't hate them, but I don't love them like I love Star Wars. So when we got on the ship and we walk into the atrium, I think, to be honest, all of us were a little disappointed. Because you've seen it, right? Like it's kind of a
nice.
weird. It's
fine.
pretty, but it has like I don't know. We got on the Treasure and we just loved it. And that's themed to Aladdin and Jasmine and Agrabah, right? It's just
Mhm.
gorgeous. It's beautiful. I don't know why that one sticks out to me so much more than the Wish or the Destiny. The Destiny is supposed to be more Black Panther, and they have very strange chandelier
Yeah,
that I think,
it's like crystalline shaped, like yeah.
So we were all like, huh. And nobody loved, like, we were like, it's pretty, but it's just not the Treasure. Like, it just didn't grab our attention the same way.
Okay.
So we were a little disappointed about that. But as the cruise went on, I start realizing, like, on day 1 and day 2, that there is a ton of meet and greets with villains we've never been able to have a proper meet and greet with before. So there's like Cruella, there's Dr. Facilier. Dr. Facilier, you could do both just like a quick picture sometimes, and sometimes he had a whole card trick that he took you into a parlor and did. Maleficent.
So the quick meet and greet that they, like, you said you met Dr. Facilier, and Michelle and I are like, oh, I wonder how long she waited for that. And then we saw the pictures and we're like, oh, they weren't doing that originally. So they didn't have just a meet and greet back in the day. So that's a new thing. Yeah. Which probably helps with the line for the other thing too.
Right. Because you, like we said, you were on the Maiden voyage.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of crazy Disney people waiting in lines all day,
Disney.
right?
I was like the least crazy Disney person on the ship. Easily.
That's saying something. Wow.
I know, right? I feel that way. Like,
Should
but
I
that
be
might also be like,
you?
that could also be like when my grandpa like moved to Arizona and he complained about living in Arizona because there was all old people in Arizona. And I'm like, so that might be similar vibes on the opinion there, but
it might be.
Who am I to judge?
Yeah, I would say, like, waiting those few months, it felt like a pretty normal cruising. Like, I mean, a lot of people were talking about things being different than the other ships, but there was a lot of people that was like their very first cruise ever with Disney, at least.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
So I felt like, as I got really excited about all the villains because I had never met them before, and I'm like, this is like a glimpse into what we're going to see with Magic Kingdom. And I think they're probably testing some stuff out to see how it goes. Because there was a lot of, like, I don't know if you guys had this, but there was a lot of mini shows, like 15-minute shows.
Yeah.
So even that, like, I think they're kind of testing some stuff out. Some of it seemed very like, I don't think this is going to get off a cruise ship because I don't know how this would work in the parks. But I think trying to figure out what the characters are doing and what they should be saying and what people react to. Yeah, I think this is all, headed towards Magic Kingdom in the next few years.
I think 10 to 15-minute shows could have a huge impact in the park. And I feel like they have that stage in like Galaxy's Edge. It's a missed opportunity for a 5-minute, 10-minute show, right?
Uh-huh.
They walk out and then they walk around the crowd. That's all they do, but there's no show.
Right.
They also have a stage that's up above that they never have used, that they built over above like the speeders and stuff in Galaxy's Edge. That was like their goal and their intention. And then when they did the Star Cruiser, they brought some of that to life. So maybe some of those short, like the Loki show that's in the atrium and some of the other stuff can show. Well, Loki can't show up, but that's legal.
Oh gosh,
things,
I forgot. Yeah,
right?
They're kind of stuck with Loki. Yeah.
Loki's at Universal, so he can't show up at Disney World because it's east of the Mississippi. Different time and place to talk about that. But like the Cruella stuff, they do a ton of stuff in that Cruella bar, don't they?
So the Cruella bar we never got to because it was pretty much it's adults only,
right?
And we have
there with kids,
children that are attached to us. Yeah, like our kids don't love the kids club. Luke was off and running and made friends, and we didn't see him most of the time. But the other three were like, we want to be with you at all times. So we were trying, like,
fun.
And then I know, we were like, we'll try to drop them off in the room to watch something or go do something and go, and just the timing didn't work out because I think like it filled up too. Still, that was a pretty popular show.
Yeah, on Rope Drop on Deck, Alex Sinek talked a lot about the Cruella stuff. So if you're curious about the Cruella stuff, he goes in detail about that about a month or two ago about the Destiny after Alex was on it.
So I was super excited to do meet and greets more than I normally am on the cruise ships because usually it's I know.
Lauren doing meet and greets, guys. This is you tell your kids they don't exist in the parks type of person.
Yeah, we don't do them in the parks. We will
Yeah.
usually do a few on the cruise. Like, we're happy if the line's not long, we'll jump in it. Like, and we have like a few favorites. Like, we always have to see Pluto, Mickey, and Donald because those are like the 3 faves. But that got interesting because I think the first villain we met was Maleficent, and I wasn't prepared that she was intimidating to like my
Mhm.
younger kids. And so like they got a little, you could see them get a little nervous, especially Lily as we got up to the stage. So we kind of had to talk about like, you know, Maleficent's safe and kind of the background of what's going on there. I don't want to, ruin anything for preschool toys, but ears. But that kind of reassured her. And I think they started getting more excited about the villains' interactions because they didn't know what to expect, right? Like the princesses are going to say some little funny thing that has to do with their character. And, Pluto's going to ask you to like pet him, and Goofy's going to do something silly, and that they're all used to. But like the unknown of what is the villain going to do kind of threw everyone for a loop in a good way. Like we just never knew what to expect. So I'm really looking forward to that in Villains Land. Like they need to have a lot of meet and greets, I think, because
Right,
they're just
and I
fun.
think figuring out how to do the villain meet and greets is a skill that to
Yeah.
not scare off those kids, because they do a lot of villain meet and greets at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. However, that's a different mindset going into a Halloween party, right? Like
Right.
you're going where just a regular Tuesday afternoon in the park and you enter Villains Land, like how scary can it be and
Right.
how family friendly can it be at the same time, right? So
Yeah, and I thought they did a good job on the ship. Like, no room ever got too dark or anything like that. I will say the atrium by the end of the cruise, it really grew on us because they had so many effects. I think more than the treasure, more lights, more stuff going on, and they could really tailor it to each individual character. So, like when Loki came on, it was green and yellow, and then when Black Panther was up there, it was black and purple. So that really enhanced it. So by the end of the cruise, we all appreciated the atrium in a different way.
yeah, it's more of a theatrical space than an atrium, right?
Yeah, which I had kind of seen with the treasure, but I think this went above and beyond that. And I think hopefully when the Wish does its dry dock, it gets those effects more.
It's a lot of wishing for the Wish in the dry dock coming up this year.
Right. I know. Like Luke was like, are they going to add on more concierge rooms? I'm like, I don't know how,
Probably,
but maybe.
I don't. That's all they ever do in a dry dock. We're going to add more concierge rooms.
Probably. Yeah. So no, like the girls never got scared. They were just a little bit unsure the first couple times we went up and met them. They had never really watched any Marvel movies. And when we went up to Loki, they were all mad that I had made them wait in the line for Loki. So we got up to Loki and I was like, Loki, nobody wanted to come and see you, just me. And he was just hilarious. And he was like, he's like, I am your king. You are my subjects and you needed to be here. And they thought that was hilarious. So they actually, when we came home, they asked to watch Thor because they want just for Loki. They wanted to see Loki. Of course, they were a little disappointed in the first Thor because Loki's just all bad.
Yeah, he's not really the mischief god.
So we're like, he gets better, just not in this one. He's kind of the bad guy in this one. So they were a little disappointed by that.
Gotta watch his Disney Plus series. That's where he's the best.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
Sure.
I agree. So he was great. Maleficent was great. Cruella, she had a meet and greet on the first sea day. We never got to her because we were doing other activities. I figured she would be on later in the sailing just for a regular meet and greet, and she was not. So if I had to redo that, I would have seen her first and Maleficent second because Maleficent was there like every day. But yeah, they just did a good job in the stage. The stage shows were good. I loved when they had a whole stage show where it's supposed to be Black Panther and you're celebrating him and Loki just takes over. Yeah. And that was funny. And then Black Panther comes. Did you see that one?
Yeah,
okay.
I did.
Because did they teach each half of the audience to do a song and a dance?
There was a thing. Yeah. I was up a deck, so I didn't have to song and dance,
Well, I watched the cast members be like, okay, your half, we're going to teach you a song and this half, we're going to teach you how to dance. And I was like, what are they going to do? This is a 15-minute show. Well, they do the Loki Pokey on one side and they sing Happy Loki Day to you instead of Happy Birthday on the other.
It's well known, right? It's
right. And it was funny. So like my girls have been singing Happy Loki Day to you since we came home. That's the new song.
Oof, that's like It's a Small World right there. So this is the cruise.
It was like that.
Yeah.
It is like the parks, right?
Yeah. Earworms. So you mentioned there's two different types of Dr. Facilier meets. One's just a character
Yes.
meet and greet. The other is a character encounter.
Yeah.
Explain what that is, and do you think this is something we might see? Because the original New Fantasyland had a lot of character encounters planned. We got one
Oh.
where Mine Train was supposed to be all character encounters. Like each princess had their own thing, similar to what Storytime with Belle has, right?
Yeah.
Is this maybe the future of character meet and greets / encounters that we might see in Villains Land? And explain what it was.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I hope so, but you're right. Like it's probably an easy thing for them to cut, sadly. So it's still crazy. I know you guys couldn't even get in because it was like a wait all day thing. This was like people were getting in line
Yeah.
2 hours before
Before it
I got
opened, even
before it opened. And so
their line wrapped all the way around that deck,
oh
the
my
one
gosh, really?
venue. When we went to breakfast, it didn't start till like
Oh
10
gosh.
a.m. And we're like, it's like 7:30. We're going to breakfast. And there was like, it's all people did was stand in that line for a day. Like,
So that was
I don't care that much about anything, just to clarify.
No. And that was funny. So this was on our last C day and the weather was not great. And Jake and I got up and they had like, we looked at it the day before. It was a 9:30 or 1:30. And we're like, the kids, they sleep like babies. Like we had a hard time waking them up most mornings. So we went down for coffee at 8:45 and like the line wasn't that bad. We seriously considered getting in line, but thought the kids would kill us because they were all asleep. So we're like, no, we'll go to the 1:30. So if you're up early now, that would have been fine. Like I think that was not a long wait. The 1:30, that started. No, it actually wasn't 2 hours. It's probably an hour and a half. I would say I got in line and I was probably like 10 people back. So it wasn't that bad. The weather was bad anyway. So, and we had seen most of the stuff we had wanted to see. So anyway, how it's different. They take you into groups of like 10 to 15 people. So I think we were with maybe 2 other families. There's no phone. You can't use your phone. You can't record. You can't take pictures. It's just, so that alone I thought was totally worth it because like no one knew what we were walking into, which was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much of you want me to say it without spoiling it, but
we'll just say spoiler alert.
Yeah, this is a spoiler alert. Yes. So you walk in, they tell you not to touch anything. And so he's there with like a table doing card tricks and there's 3 seats and they say you cannot sit unless he invites you to. So lucky for us, we had already met him and I think he remembered us because we had tried to, he had asked us if we had ever come to New Orleans just in the regular picture moment, right? Well, we had gone down there for a Taylor Swift concert and I forgot that, that's before his time. So I was like, yeah, we went there to see Taylor Swift. And he's like, who's that? What is that? I don't understand. And I thought, I was like, what? Like everyone knows her. Then I go, what? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's crazy. And I was like, oh, because it's before your time. And so like all the kids are like, oh. And he was just hilarious because he's like, well, sing me something. Like, what does she sing? And we all froze because I don't know why. Right. Because Dr. Facilier, and he has these intense purple contacts that you can't stop staring at. So he's just kind of intense. And he was phenomenal.
Just his natural eye color. Come on, Lauren.
Well, he saw Jake like staring at him and he's like, what, you never seen purple eyes before? He said something about it. So he's used to it. So he had, I think, remembered us. So he invited Luke and I to come sit with him, which was neat. Yeah. I broke my flip-flop trying to get to him because I was so excited I got picked.
Lauren.
Sucked. There was like an area rug and my flip-flop got cut underneath it.
Uh-oh.
No one really saw me trip, but I sat down and I was like, I'm not walking out of here with a flip-flop on because I just broke the one part that keeps the
front part ripped out. Yeah.
Yes, it was just out. And then I was like, okay, focus because you're right in front of Dr. Facilier. So he does a card trick. So he picks someone of the 3 of us that he says has good intuition, and that was Luke. And then he puts down like a red pile and a black pile, and Luke is supposed to, like, without looking at the next 3 cards, assign them to red or black. And then this goes on like there ends up probably being 12 cards. And then at the end of the card trick, he flips them over and like Luke had correctly guessed with his intuition. Ooh. Yeah, we couldn't figure out how he did it. Like I was like, I don't know if the cards changed like once he puts them down. I don't know what he did. It was not when we met him before, there was no pre-orchestration of what Luke was supposed to do.
Yeah. Nothing
so
like
there's
Magic Dave, who told me what answers I had to say on stage.
yes,
Oh,
it
Magic
wasn't
Dave
that.
is the opposite of magic. Okay, carry on.
Yeah. So it wasn't that. And he just kind of talks and says things in between. And anyway, it was neat because you just don't know what he's going to say. It's like very intense in a good way. He's just very intriguing. The magic trick was neat. And then he kicks you out. So I'm probably not just like doing it justification. I think you have to be in the room with him. It's just a different kind of meet and greet where you get to see them in character for a while and they get to interact with you than just doing like you're waiting to take the picture, like there's a long line behind me, so I can't talk to him too long. That was all gone. So you're just able to sit there for the 15 minutes and really enjoy seeing that character come to life and interact with you, which was awesome. So I highly recommend if you have time to go, you should go.
See, I could see them doing something like this in Villain's Land, where it's a combination of everything you just described and Savi's workshop. Like, we're going to build something. It's like a show, but you're actually buying a product so they can, monetize this time somehow. Because Savi's workshop is a show, but there's no headline character in it. But maybe they're going to come up with something that we have to build, that we need to have, that a villain, like, you know what I mean? Like, I could see them, they got to find a way to monetize the park where the need to monetize isn't as high on Disney Cruise Line. Now you put it on Royal Norwegian or Carnival, then the monetization of that 15 minutes is important. But on Disney, you're paying the premium to begin with, and that's why it's not monetized, right? Now that I've said it out loud, crap.
Don't say that.
But do you see how, like, it's close to Savi's, but without the product within it? But what villain-esque thing could they...
The only thing I can think of that we kept running into with them is, like, a lot of them have, like, a shaft of some sort. Like, Maleficent has her big black thing, and then Loki had some sort of thing.
Jafar has a staff.
Yeah. So that would, I don't know if they want to do
staff. Everybody's going to be walking around with staves.
Because there was kids like trying to kind of touch it, and she would be like, "Stay away," like in character or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it was like you went up there and you kind of wanted to touch it.
I think Josh should give us a call and let us be vice president of monetization of character interactions. Sounds like a real title.
We're available. We could do it.
Josh, if you're listening. It's us.
Hit us up.
Yeah. Stock needs some. It's just been leveled. Like, come on, Josh, let's get this moving. Anywho, so I think that is a big indicator of Villain's Land. I think that's what we can kind of expect.
And
right?
I did miss, like, that's the only thing I wish that they could have expanded on, is they got, in my opinion, a little heavy with the Marvel. Like, there's so many other villains, like Jafar. They don't even touch on Star Wars. Like, there's no Darth Vader. Like, I don't know that they'll bring him to Magic Kingdom, right? Because he should be in studios. But there's other villains that are like Gaston. Like, there's other villains they could easily bring in.
I was surprised at the lack of Hercules villains. Like, why is Hades not present on the ship when that's the show?
That would be a great one. That would be a great meet and greet.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to talk about was Corilla. Did she do her fashion show? That got nuts. I have never seen, so out of any show we went to, including like the Goodbye show, that was the most crowded.
Really?
People packed for it because they knew it was coming this time, right?
Oh, yeah. And the Maiden, nobody packed for
Nobody knew. So there was probably like 25 people who are like entered in as like, a contestant.
Were they all dressed as Cruella? What are they dressing up as?
Yeah, like one lady had a full-on fur coat, like black and white. I was like, I don't know how you pack that on a cruise.
She's lucky to get through TSA these days.
Yes. That was impressive. There was a lot of kids who participated and dressed up as puppies, which I thought was hilarious.
A little dangerous with Cruella there.
So she kept her jokes to a minimum about like how she liked their puppy, whatever. Because you didn't want to make it get weird. But yeah, just a lot of adults dressed up in like the black, red, and white. I did not realize how popular it was going to be. I think we were like doing trivia and then we're going to go right to it. And like we had to wait until a couple people left to even be able to see it. On every floor was packed. And I was like, usually if you like go in the corner of one, you can kind of fit in between to the point
get
where
a bad angle.
That's what we started doing. We're like behind someone. And then I like told the girls like, sit right here and you can see between these two people. Then eventually the family in front of us, I think had someone in the show. So when they were done, they went, I think it was a kid, they went down and got them. So we took their spot and then could see, but that was immensely popular. Again, I don't know how you would do that in the parks, but like
one of those little stage, a 5-10 minute show. I think it's doable.
Well, and we have like Jedi training, right? Like you can get audience participation.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be as elaborate as Jedi training. And if you offer it multiple times throughout the day, you don't have to worry about everybody wanting to be in it in the whole theme park.
Yeah. Yeah, and she did a great job just ad-libbing commentary to what people were wearing and how they were, because then people had like a strut and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be neat if they could kind of insert that into the park too.
Nice. Yeah, so I mean, outside of the normal cruise experience, all that cruise stuff, we could talk about that. I feel like you've encapsulated the kind of Villains Land preview almost at sea.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, did you have that sense when you guys were on? I felt like I know you missed some of this stuff. Yeah. I didn't see that coming until I got on. Other
than the fact that I thought it was a little heavy-handed on the Marvel compared to how many villains I could have used, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do agree with you on that viewpoint. And so, yeah. Anything else you want to hit up real quick before we... No,
I mean, like for theme park people, the Haunted Mansion bar, we've talked about this a little bit before on deck. It's just fantastic. It's carbon copy of what they had on the Treasure, but like the kids did ask to go again. I wasn't sure they were going to because they don't ask to go back to the Star Wars bar on the Wish.
No, nor should they.
But they love the Haunted Mansion bar and watching all the effects and like, the fish bones in the water and the fish tank and stuff like that. So that was a big hit. And then the Lion King show. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah.
We had a rough, we only got in there once and we had rough seas hit right when we sat down and it's at the back of the ship. Usually we don't get seasick, but like Annie and Gracie didn't feel good. And then they would walk out of the restaurant and feel fine. Because then, right, it was just that room.
I get more midship. And
yeah, as soon as they walked out of that room, they were fine. So the meal was interrupted nonstop with one of us escorting them and checking on them and making sure. And then they'd be like, they'd come in and eat a course and they'd get up and go. So that was kind of annoying. I would say the kids, like I don't think Lily or Luke got sick during that, but there was a lack of interest compared to the other two shows where they have characters in it. Because this is just them singing, which they're beautiful voices.
Yeah, it's not characters. It's performers performing like Lion King songs and dance.
Yeah, and they sound beautiful and they play like authentic instruments. Yeah. But I feel like that is for the adults and the kids are like, where's Simba?
Yeah, it's definitely not the same type of show you'd see in the theme park.
No.
I think so. Another Villains Land thing that I wonder about is we don't have a big theater with a big stage show in the Magic Kingdom. They were going to build one behind Main Street a few years ago, and then it didn't happen when COVID happened. A lot of the stuff that was announced never materialized, right? Unlike the Ghost in the Haunted Mansion. So could we see a big theater? I don't know. I think based off of the water redistribution plans, I don't think one of those buildings is a big theater. But if we did, I mean, Disney Cruise Line does theater productions really well, right?
They really do. Yeah. Yeah. That would be interesting to see. I just wondered if they put it back there, though, because like originally their plans, they wanted to be able to kind of switch out the shows. And then if you're putting it in Villains Land, are you stuck committing to like that theming then?
Right, to villains. And so we have the Black Box Villains show going on over in Hollywood Studios. So we'll see what can happen with the stage show and how much, because you get shows at sea could also be another tie-in. I don't know. So there you go.
So in Hercules, at the end when he's fighting the Titans, did you have a puppet for that or was it screens?
That was in November, and I do not remember necessarily.
Okay. Because
I know the Hydra was a puppet.
yes.
But that's
Yes,
not
yes.
a Titan. That's not the climax.
No,
That's
it's
in
like
like the training montage.
Right. Yeah. So we had mixed feelings about Hercules because
Okay.
the singing was great. The muses are awesome.
Yeah.
The Hydra puppet was really cool. But you see that like in the middle of the show, and then at the end he's fighting the Titans, and all of a sudden he's just throwing a sword a little bit at a screen.
I think it was a screen, and I think you're right that the theatrical effects climax in the middle. Yeah.
Yes. So that was kind of disappointing because, like in Moana, the puppets at the end, and like so it just flows really nice.
Yeah.
And so with this, I was like, it felt like they spent all their money on the Hydra, and then they were like, here's like a shadow of a Titan, and the effects were bad, and I don't think the actor had a lot of interaction with that screen, and it was a little bit rough.
You're right.
I think we had a new Hercules.
Yeah, you're on cast 2 for like I think they're about 2 weeks into their cast 2. So
Yeah, so he was, in our opinion, struggling a little bit to carry the singing part of that, and I don't know if that he just needs more time because he's new. He seemed very young.
And also, you're a couple weeks in, which
Yeah.
is the time where you hit a lot of understudies because they get on the ship and they all commingle, cohabitate, and then they slowly start to get sick. And so if something will work its way through the cast from week 2 to week 4, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
It is you were in prime understudy territory too. I'm just hypothesizing.
It could have been.
I follow enough different cruise line people on Instagram to know that understudying happens and everybody has one. Because if Hercules gets sick, it can't cancel the show, right? So you gotta have plan B. That could have been.
Because he was in Frozen as Kristoff, and he was great.
Oh.
But
okay.
I think
it might have been.
The music for the Hercules was too much for him. Like,
because usually if they're like the lead, like say Hercules in one, they're probably not that main of a character.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Frozen.
So you might be right. Maybe, yeah. Because then I was like, there was another actor in Frozen that played Hans, and I was like, he had a better singing voice, and he's like a bigger dude. But maybe he was, I don't know, wasn't feeling good or whatever,
maybe
resting his voice. Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
So that was,
or just that performance. It's live theater, people. It's not every show's going to be their best show, which is how that works.
We ended up like. We've seen Frozen a bunch of times, but everyone actually thought that was their favorite. They tweaked a couple things, upgraded like some effects.
Well, you are in a different theater, right? The dimensions of that Walt Disney Theater are a little bit different. There's everything around the stage is a hair different from, the Wonder where it originated. So it's a lot different theater from the classic, Magic and Wonder.
Yeah.
So different
so
effects,
it was neat to
sure.
watch, and the cast was fantastic on there. And that was, I think, the same gal who played Meg also played Anna Elsa.
I think that's pretty common because Meg is not as main as
that's
Hercules.
True.
So
she's just got the one song.
I want to say it was Anna and Meg were the same on Our Sailing.
Yeah, yeah, and she was really good. So yeah, so I don't know. So I just wanted to talk about that because that was kind of the new show. But why didn't they have Hades out with the villains?
Right? He should be all over that ship. Yeah, that's probably the biggest miss on the characters.
Yeah.
And the character meet and greets and the character interactions. Hades is a hoot. He'd be a fun one to play. I would love to play Hades. I am way too short though. I'd be more I'm more a pain and panic sized kind of guy. So yeah.
Suppose you could play, yes.
Typecasting. Hey, you're Phil. All right. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Half goat. Got it. So there you go. Villains Land at Sea. Go book the Destiny and check it out.
Get a preview. Yeah, to what we think is coming.
So if you're wanting to go on to the Destiny or to the parks before Villains Land is there, any kind of vacation, really, what have you, check out our friends at Touring and Cruises. Reach out and click the link in the show notes, and it will take you right on there. So Rope Drop Radio knows that we sent you. And then if you're looking to get there from the Nebraska area, check out the Lincoln Airport for your direct flight on Breeze Airways from Lincoln to MCO, nonstop to the Magic, and coming very, very soon, a through flight. You stop in Las Vegas, but a through flight to Orange County, California for Disneyland. Look at that. You can get both ways. All right, so we're going to get on to the after show to talk about Lauren's travel adventures, and make sure you follow us on all the social media at Rope Drop Radio on all the things, and our website, ropedroppod.com. You can check out all kinds of other fun and exciting things. So for Lauren, I'm Doug. This has been another Rope Drop Radio. Hey, Rope Droppers, thanks for watching this whole video. Why don't you take a moment to make sure you subscribe, watch the next thing. Last thing, try to watch something else, but make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching Rope Drop Radio.